Hi, this is Indraneel and you are watching Business Bytes in our channel The Spotlight, India's first online business news channel. In today's Business Bytes, first news we have Keynes Circuit India to set up an advanced electronics component manufacturing facility with 4,995 crore of investment. Second news we have quick commerce companies slowing down on dark store setup to control their cash burn. Third news we have listed fintech startups cutting their marketing and promotional expenses to achieve profitability. Fourth news we have Mahindra & Mahindra completed acquisition of SML Isuzu from Sumitomo Corporation and Isuzu Motors. And fifth news we have India is considering qualifying criteria for private companies who are looking to operate nuclear power plant. In first news, Keynes Circuit India to set up an advanced electronics component manufacturing facility with 4,995 crore of investment. Keynes Circuits India is set to invest 4,995 crore for setting up an advanced electronics component manufacturing facility in Tamil Nadu, where the plant would produce 74-layer PCB, HDI PCB, flexible PCB, high-performance laminates, camera module assembly and wire harness assembly, and this would mark the first large-scale investment in PCB manufacturing in Tamil Nadu. The new unit is likely to create about 4,700 jobs when the proposed Keynes facility near the upcoming VinFast EV manufacturing plant bolsters a potential to emerge as a complete end-to-end automotive and electronics hub, seamlessly integrating advanced electronics manufacturing with electric vehicle production. In this proposal, the fresh investment could create an integrated ecosystem that replicates Tamil Nadu's other successful industrial clusters, fostering synergies across EV components, batteries, and power electronics. The companies are also looking to capitalize on the recently launched the 22,919 crore electronics component manufacturing scheme aims to establish a strong domestic manufacturing ecosystem for a range of components which are fundamental building blocks in nearly all modern electronic devices. In second news, quick commerce companies slowing down on dark store setup to control their cash burn. After a year of rapid expansion of dark stores, quick commerce companies are pulling back on adding their dark stores to control cash burn as the real estate prices for dark stores had peaked a year ago, but now players are negotiating lease agreements. While there is an exception in Blinkit, which is backed by parent Eternal, plans to expand their network to 3,000 stores from 1,544 dark stores as of June 30th. On the other side, Swiggy and Zepto, with cash reserve of 600 to 700 million US dollar each, have slowed down on that context when Swiggy's Instamart added just 42 dark stores in the June quarter and has 1,062 such micro warehouses on its network, while Zepto paused expansion after reaching around 1,000 stores. Quick commerce players had been spending heavily for the past year on scaling up in a market that is expected to more than triple in the next 2 to 3 years. However, this growth and expansion push has led to significant cash burn when the quick commerce market is estimated to expand to 30 billion US dollar by 2027-2028 from 8.2 billion US dollar in the 2024-2025. In the recent earning report of Blinkit and Instamart highlighted that most of their growth came from larger cities and that they can continue to grow without adding a large number of new stores. And even in this quarter, they opened a lot more cities, while less than 5% of the overall growth came from the expansion areas which were not serving earlier. When in the June quarter, Blinkit's gross order value increased by 140% year-on-year to 11,821 crore. In third news, listed fintech startups cutting their marketing and promotional expenses to achieve profitability. On that context, 197 Communications, which runs Paytm, has been on a cost-cutting spree, while PB Fintech also reduced marketing spends in the past 2 quarters, and it comes even as Paytm reported its first business-driven profitable quarter in June. While achieving revenue growth has been a major challenge in a tough microeconomic environment, cutting costs at multiple business entities actually helped to improve profit. Paytm reported less than 100 crore in marketing spends for the June quarter, which is 55% less than 221 crore a year ago. And now the point is, how much can cost be controlled without compromising growth when given competition is severe and consumer-facing platforms need to invest in brand building? Overall, Paytm reduced expenses 20% year-on-year in the June quarter, when their revenue increased by 27% to 1,917 crore from 1,501 crore during this period. Similarly, PB Fintech, which runs insurance marketplace Policybazaar, has reported a gradual reduction in their marketing and advertising expenses over the past 2 quarters. When for October to December 2024, PB Fintech reported marketing expenses of 289 crore, which went down to 277 crore in the March 2025 quarter and further to 253 crore in the June quarter. While the company is investing heavily in building its new line of businesses, when for the core operations, PB Fintech has tried to keep their cost low. In fourth news, Mahindra & Mahindra completed acquisition of SML Isuzu from Sumitomo Corporations and Isuzu Motors. Mahindra & Mahindra has completed the acquisition of a 58.96% controlling stake in SML Isuzu from Japan's Sumitomo Corporation and Isuzu Motors and expanding their presence in the commercial vehicle space. Mahindra & Mahindra has restructured the board of SML and plans to rename it SML Mahindra Limited when the deal announced in April was executed at 650 per share with a total transaction value of 555 crore. Mahindra & Mahindra will also initiate a mandatory open offer to acquire up to 26% additional stake from public shareholders in accordance with market regulator SEBI's takeover regulations. Mahindra & Mahindra commands over 54% share in the sub 3.5-ton light commercial vehicle space, while Mahindra plans to build on SML's strong brand equity and manufacturing capabilities to drive scale in a competitive commercial vehicle market currently dominated by Tata Motors and Ashok Leyland. The acquisition is aimed at strengthening Mahindra & Mahindra's position in the above 3.5-ton commercial vehicle segment, where their market share currently stands at only about 3%, when the addition of SML's portfolio is expected to double their current market share to 6% with a long-term goal of reaching 10 to 12% by financial year 2031 and over 20% by financial year 2036. And in fifth news, India is considering qualifying criteria for private companies who are looking to operate nuclear power plant. Such companies are barred from nuclear power generation, which is at present limited to central public sector undertaking when deliberations are ongoing to frame or change laws to allow their participation, where the companies are likely to be evaluated by the government or a designated agency across several parameters, including financial and technical strengths, experience, and track record. A minimum threshold of sustained position revenue for a specific time frame is among parameters being discussed to qualify for a license, where potential applicants may also need to have a certain level of experience in setting up large projects. To have an active partnership with the private sector, the budget had proposed amendments to the Atomic Energy Act and the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act, when both these acts were introduced in the context of a state-owned nuclear trust, and the idea is now to encourage private sector participation as the clean energy requirement is set to rise in line with India's Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. India has currently installed nuclear power capacity of around 8.8 gigawatt from 23 operational plants owned and run entirely by Nuclear Power Corporation of India, when the Government of India has set a target for 100 gigawatt of nuclear energy capacity by 2047, and it is aiming to reach 22 gigawatt nuclear power capacity by 2032 first. So these were the top 5 business newses from Business Bytes in our channel The Spotlight, India's first online business news channel. I would like to request you to please subscribe this channel so that you can have all the updates from our end. Thank you very much for watching Business Bytes and signing it off.